Welcome to the Silverhawk Medicine Lodge and the Revelation Book 2, the rest of the prophecy, and the Magical Mystery Tour. Today we're going to discourse and meditate on my close encounter with the Pleiadians, which occurred in 1979 on February 2nd on the slopes of Mount Shasta, California. A very magical and spiritual mountain, which is full of lore and legend, and it is a portal, a trans-dimensional portal for ETs, people from the star families to come in and out of our dimension. And so it is a very powerful mountain with incredible history. So I was up there on a vision quest in the middle of winter because I was seeking light and direction on where my mission would take me and where it was going to unfold next. So I was seeking this light. And it was a crystal clear day without a cloud in the sky, and the wind was blowing very hard, about 40 miles an hour. It was very cold in the middle of winter. But I walked about 2 miles from beyond where I could park. I was about 9,000 feet, and walked to about 2 miles to Panther Meadows. And when I got there, I began to hear etheric sounds, and like wind chimes and strange chirps. They were interdimensional sounds. And earlier I had sent out a message to the guides or whoever was up there, telling them I was on a vision quest, and could you lighten up on the wind? And strangely enough, I realized shortly thereafter that the wind had stopped blowing on me, and I could also see that it was blowing ahead of me and blowing behind me, but there's a space around me where it wasn't blowing on me. Very mysterious, had no idea how that happened. But I got to the Panther Meadows, and the wind came back and was kind of swirling around me, and I wondered what was up with this change. And I was suddenly compelled to look up, and there I saw a perfectly round cloud pulsating this energy around it, and I was amazed and in awe, and thought to ask a question. Are you what I think you are? And it was an answer very clear in my mind. Yes, we are. Of course, I was thinking this was some kind of extraterrestrial craft, and they confirmed it for me. So this was astounding. I was in awe there for several minutes looking at it, and then all of a sudden something happened where this energy beam or something came down upon me, and it was unsettling. It was very powerful. It felt like some kind of electrocution that was very much an ecstasy, however, and flowing energy through me, a huge amount of energy streaming off my hands, and I wondered what that was all about. And I had never felt anything like this before in my life, or since that time. It was a very alien and powerful energy of some kind. I didn't know at the time what was happening, but since then I've learned that what they did was open up my spiritual powers of transdimensional communication in order to facilitate my mission and activate my mission and enable me to have an open line of communication into the ascension realms and the realms of the Galactic Federation, so I could receive guidance and knowledge that was necessary for my mission. And it was spectacular. And it was so overwhelming at the end. After about 2 minutes of this, I didn't know what to say, really. So I asked, well, what can I do for you? And I knew I'd been blessed or affected in a powerful way. So they very clearly and kind of matter-of-factly replied to me and asked me a question. They asked, how would you like to usher in the new age, the new golden age? And I was pretty astounded. I didn't think I should say no, so I said okay. But two things occurred to me as I agreed to this. And one, I realized that this was going to be an incredible adventure and probably going to upset a lot of powers that be in the world. So I said to them, well, can you give me absolute protection? And they said, yes, we can do that and will. And I also said, well, I have a very little idea what you're talking about, so I'm going to have a lot of information, knowledge downloaded to me so I can accomplish this along the way. They said, yes, we will provide this. So I started back down the mountain, and amazingly enough, they followed me. They were maybe 200-300 feet high. It wasn't a real big ship, but they followed me down at walking speed the whole 2 miles back to where I was parked. And then I stopped because there was skiers now up there. I'd been the only one there. So I sat on a rock, and the ship stopped, was hovering out over the valley, and I just sat and watched it a while, wondered if other people could see it. And then 2 skiers stopped nearby, and one of them looked up at it and told the other one, well, look at that strange round cloud. So I knew I wasn't hallucinating or imagining things, and it was real enough. And then a strange thing happened where clouds began to form under the cloud ship and formed itself into a white eagle in a screaming dive. And I exclaimed, white eagle, because white eagle had introduced himself to me about a year before in a protection for my life. There was a threat to my life, and he intervened and introduced himself. And I realized now here he was involved with this ship, and he replied to me, hello Silverhawk. And I had never heard that name before that time. And I was amazed. I said, Silverhawk. Well, I've since learned this is a Pleiadian bird tribe name, kind of like a name and a rank of some kind in the bird tribe's commands. And this was my true identity. I didn't know this at the time. All of this had to come to me later. So I was amazed by this, watching the white eagle And then another amazing thing happened. Another cloud formation formed to the right of White Eagle and became a dragon. And they must do crop circles using this technology because this was very spectacular. And then the dragon engaged in battle with White Eagle and devoured him. And I was appalled. How can this be, you know? Well, the dragon sat there a while, and then it began to change. And it became White Eagle. And I didn't know what this meant until years later, what this drama was. But it means that we are not to be afraid to be devoured by the world or the dragons of the world, because in devouring us, they will become us. We blend our energy with the world, and we have a transformative effect upon it. So that's why we're here. And this is how the medicine works. So I just continued on with this mission faithfully. Since then, it's expanded and expanded into many, many facets, and huge medicines had to be administered and developed to fulfill it. And now we're very close to the true fulfillment of it. Now, I would just say that I know so many of you feel like you're not from here and feel kind of alien in this world. You don't feel you blend with it very well. And I'd just like to confirm that if that's how you feel and what you perceive, then that most likely means you are not from here. You are an incarnate agent, one of the 160 million of the hosts that are here on a mission, whatever that mission may be, whatever you agreed to do. And it may or may not be unfolded all the way, but if you are true to it and seek it, and seek the stillness, it will be revealed, and you will see more clearly why you are here. And it will surely unfold if you wish it to, and you want to be true to it, because this is how it works. This is how we awaken here. And we are a mighty host of light, and we come from many worlds. You may be from Pleiades or Arcturus or Vega, Sirius, Orion, anywhere, or someplace we've never heard of, from another galaxy even. I have met people from other galaxies. So this is an amazing show of missions, and an amazing time to be on Earth, an amazing time to witness something new under the sun and in the stars. So I wish you the finest meditation on all of this and in your explorations. And I bid you Amun Ra, Namaste, Carpe Diem, seize the day. Vaya con Dios and go with God. And I wish you to live long and prosper in the light. Aho.